Hi there, Lester Fields here. From time to time, I like to take a stroll around Appalachia. Honestly, I'm always stumbling upon something new. And indeed, it was on one of my strolls in the forest recently that I found Vault 51. And though the entrance to the vault was blocked, off to the side was a hatch I could enter that led to the shelter's claim center. Inside was a rather courteous Mr. Handy robot named Mr. Clark, who was bent on trying to sell me on the idea of building my own underground shelter. But it's clear that something was amiss with Mr. Clark.
Cursory analysis suggests you are likely here to... Goodness! Forgive my tone. I'm experiencing some memory issues.
His speech was interrupted by some unintelligible noise, and he complained to me of memory loss. Odd, but I took him up on his offer of a free shelter anyway. I just needed to register on the terminal in the back. Upon activating the terminal, I saw that I was not the first human to access these files. While I did find the expected information on shelters, which I used to register as a new dweller, there were some odd-looking communication logs hinting at someone trying to access Vault 51 through this terminal. 2. A password-protected file labeled Reuben's Notes made me scratch my head. I asked Mr. Clark about this, Reuben, aka Mr. Gill, and his password.
I'm afraid not. Mr. Gill was quite paranoid about things like that. He kept his effects in a locked safe and always carried the key on him. If he wrote down the password, he likely locked it in there.
Finding Mr. Gill's locked safe was easy enough, as it sits right here in the visitor center. But of Mr. Gill himself and his key, there was no trace. I exited the visitor center, and immediately my Pip-Boy picked up a signal leading me to the isolated cabin. Once I traveled there, inside, on the floor and most certainly dead, was the body of Reuben Gill, also marked as the overseer of Vault 51. On his remains, I find the key to his safe and some notes. From the notes, Reuben seems to have been out here in the forest looking for supplies and anyone from Vault 76. He also had the end goal of killing Zax, which I knew was the AI in control of whatever was going on inside Vault 51. It looks like someone or something got to Mr. Gill before he could complete that task. With key in hand, I made my way back to the visitor center. Opening up Mr. Gill's safe, I found a few odds and ends along with the password for the terminal. I once again activated the terminal, which immediately recognized Reuben's password and gave me access to his notes. Perusing the notes, I surmised that Reuben's becoming Vault 51's overseer allowed him to somehow escape whatever nightmare he had been living inside it. He expressed how he was continually haunted by the vault, and documented his effort to get back inside for, I can only assume, the express purpose of killing Zax, as he had listed in the notes on his body. Mr. Gill, it seems, was successful in hacking into the Vault 51 network, and he speculates that Mr. Clark's irregularities and memory loss may have been due to Zax somehow taking over the Mr. Handy robot via the connection to the network. In his last entry, Mr. Gill talks about scavenging nearby towns for building supplies and alcohol, and I can easily guess that this is how he came upon the isolated cabin and his ultimate demise. And that was the end of Reuben Gill's story. There's not much to go on, and I can only speculate that whatever horror he left when he escaped Vault 51 after becoming Overseer was enough to haunt him, enough to make him try to re-enter the vault and put an end to Zax once and for all, something he never got the chance to do. Is the threat of Zax securely contained inside Vault 51, or could it spread to the rest of Appalachia? I wonder, and I make it a point to keep an eye on this vault in the future. As I said, I'm always stumbling upon something new, but it's not always something good. Stay safe out there, Wastelanders, and until next time, thanks so much for watching.